Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you're all doing well. So I'm back today with another video. This one's actually a contest entry for Matoxdeepshadows. So a lot of you are probably familiar with his channel. It's relatively new, but it's skyrocketed very quickly. So I'll just talk about how I discovered the channel. When I was, when you're logged into your YouTube channel, under the subscriptions section, there's videos, made by all the people you subscribe to, but they also have a suggestions box. And one of them was for Matt's videos, one of Matt's videos, which was Matoxdeepshadows, and it just said suggested for you, so I started watching it, clicked on it, and I can't remember how long it was. It was like within 30 seconds or 1 minute, I just hit subscribe because it was so incredibly entertaining. So I could tell from the thumbnail that it was an extreme metal YouTube channel, which is obviously what we're all interested in. And I'd never seen it before, and really enjoyed it because he's a hilarious guy, very entertaining, and it just immediately grabbed my attention. And in addition to that, his videos are just very informative about extreme metal. So they're entertaining, informative, and just really enjoyable. And that's how I discovered the channel. And what this celebration or contest is about is the fact that he's reached 666 subscribers, which is phenomenal because that growth has been so rapid. He only started the channel quite recently, but as I said, it's skyrocketed, but with good reason. It's so well deserved because it's incredibly entertaining. So if you're familiar with his channel, you'll know he's Australian, and in terms of accent and personality, way more Aussie than me, but I just really love watching his videos. They're so entertaining and they make me nostalgic for aspects of Australian culture. So all around great stuff. If you haven't subscribed to his channel and you like extreme metal, definitely do so. I also like and respect the fact that he enjoys other styles of music other than metal, like The Cure and Alice in Chains. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that I love those bands too. So it's just really good when you can relate to someone who has such a great channel. But anyway, congratulations, Matt. Really well deserved beyond words. And now we're going to go into the details of the contest. So he's asked us 3 questions to answer, and they're very interesting questions, I think. So the first question is, share 6 artists. Because this contest is about reaching 666 subscribers, all the questions revolve around 666, or some variation. So the first question is, share 6 artists or albums from 6 different parts of the world. So what I did was chose the 6 countries which feature bands that I listen to the most, so you can probably guess what they are. So going around the world, and what I did actually with these artists is I tried to choose ones that aren't so obvious, just to maybe highlight or spotlight sort of relatively unknown, or I'm not saying these are really underground bands, but just bands that I think are underrated and people would really enjoy. So starting with Norway, the band I chose was Massmord or Massamord with Skorgen Color. So you can probably tell from the title and the cover art, this is Norwegian black metal. And I actually discovered this through a Hell's Headbangers order a couple of years ago. But I just love it. It's essentially, if you like the second wave of Norwegian black metal, then you'll absolutely love this. It's a melting pot of the sounds of some of the best bands within that genre, particularly, in my opinion, Gorgoroth and the various phases of Gorgoroth, in addition to early Enslaved, and even aspects of other bands like Gehenna, but I really like it. It features a lot of keyboards and sort of folky parts, so that's where it connects with Enslaved, I think. But in addition to that, they just have some really menacing, evil riffs, which are more in the vein of Dark Throne or Ulva, when they were black metal, like the song, what's it called? I Have Sipped the Blood of Christ. Just such a menacing, evil riff in that song. So this album has it all. Everything that you love about Norwegian black metal is encapsulated by this band. So that's my first choice. From Norway, Massmord with Skorgen Color. Okay, so as you know, I'm a big fan of black metal, so the first 3 countries are going to be Norway, Sweden, and Finland. So going to Sweden now, I chose Cethereal with Nord. And this was fresh in my mind actually because I gave this a listen just recently, and of course I've always liked it, but it just reminded me of exactly how good it is. So yes, Swedish band, but essentially the way I would describe their music is it captures the essence of all the best aspects of 90s Norwegian and Swedish black metal. So what more could you ask for? That's going to be brilliant, and you can tell from the aesthetic and the presentation, it's going to be fantastic. And it is. If you've never heard Ethereal, I would say it sort of reminds me of a cross between Emperor and Dark Funeral, like Dark Funeral, Vibiscum, Satanas, that kind of era. So not as symphonic as Emperor, but they do use keyboards, you know, for that cold Nordic atmosphere. But it's just, yeah, a melting pot of Norway and Sweden's best black metal bands and sounds, and it's absolutely fantastic. This is the only album I own by them actually, but I really want to get Lords of the Night Realm and Hell Eternal. They have a very Dark Funeral-esque aesthetic, but yeah, if you like Norwegian and Swedish 90s black metal, you can't go wrong with Ethereal, so check them out. Okay, now moving over to Finland, which is obviously one of the black metal capitals of the world, and that scene has absolutely exploded since the early 2000s. Like in the 90s, there was just a handful of bands, you know, like Beherit and Impaled Nazarene and so on. But since then, there's been a ton of great bands coming out. But one of my favorites, I have to say, you know, in the last few years, is Moon Citadel. So this is their album. I always forget the title because it's long. Moon Calls to Wander, The Winter's Majesty, and I think it's 2 demos combined on this album. But yeah, this is just raw atmospheric black metal with keyboards. In some parts it reminds me a little bit of pagan black metal with, you know, with the sounds and the melodies. It can get a little bit folky at times, but obviously in a good way. But it's just got this cold bite to the production, which to me is very reminiscent of Satiricon's Dark Medieval Times. But yeah, it's just brilliant. It takes you on a journey through the forest at night. That's what I imagine when I listen to this album. Absolutely fantastic stuff. So Moon Citadel, they've only got a handful of releases, so this is one of the earlier ones. And I'll also show this one by the same band, by Moon Citadel. This is Night Scarlet Symphonies, which as the title suggests, is much more symphonic. It goes in more of an epic direction. Like, again, not exactly like Emperor, the keyboards are different, but maybe more like closer to Nocturnal Mortem, maybe, even though Nocturnal Mortem is a lot folkier and they sound very Ukrainian. Yeah, Moon Citadel are from Finland, so it's like symphonic black metal with a Finnish sound, and it's unique. And as I've mentioned before, just the riffs and the keyboard lines in this, you're humming and singing along to those because that's how catchy they are. So Finland has, you know, a spate of brilliant black metal bands at the moment, but this is one of them for me, Moon Citadel. So if you like atmospheric and symphonic black metal, definitely check them out if you haven't. All right, so that's Norway, Sweden, and Finland done. Next, we're moving to USA. And again, the US has got a lot of brilliant black metal bands and so many other genres and styles. But the band that I chose to highlight for this video is Summon from Lansing, Michigan. So this is their debut, no, not debut, sorry, demo, Fire Turns Everything Black. And I actually discovered this band through Relapse mail order, like back in the late 90s. I just read the description. Absolutely love this band. This demo, it's sort of in the vein of early Immortal, early Marduk, which is no surprise why I like it. But their sound evolved over time. They're such an underrated band. They started in the mid-90s and disbanded in the mid-2000s due to internal conflicts, I think, but musically brilliant. So this demo, it's so raw, but so atmospheric, it's fantastic. And what's interesting is their sound evolved over time. Like you've got Dark Descent of Fallen Souls, which is a bit more symphonic, using a lot of keyboards, but absolutely brilliant. Still maintaining that raw spirit of the demo. And then with Baptized in Fire, it went into that rapid fire machine gun, fiery 6-string Kindler assault kind of black metal, where, like very technical and fast, which is great. And then with the last couple of albums, and the Blood Runs Black, this started incorporating death metal and thrash metal influences. It also featured James Murphy as a guest lead guitarist. And then on this album, the last one, Fallen, they even incorporated thrash metal. So it ended up being this amalgam of black death and thrash metal. But the band evolved and they had different periods, but I love them all. So yeah, Summon, it's a band, I know they're quite well known in the underground, but you don't hear all that many people talking about them. So I just think if you like second wave of black metal and with twists, because their sound evolved and changed, definitely check them out. So Summon from the US. Okay, up next, God, I'm already 10 minutes in, rambling too much. Okay, next, moving to Greece. okay, which is one of the cornerstones of black metal in the world. The band I chose was Medieval Demon. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that I've raved about these guys for the last couple of years, but I just think it's so fresh. Like, if you enjoy Hellenic and Greek black metal, you'll absolutely love it, but I really think they have their own sound. It's raw, it's riffy, it's evil and menacing sounding, but at the same time, it's also very theatrical. Like, they use a lot of hammer horror keyboards and like operatic vocals, but not overdoing it. But the albums are just teeming with that Hellenic ancient world atmosphere, and it's so dark. Some of the riffs are absolutely brilliant, so you cannot go wrong with Medieval Demon. This is their demo, which is, what is it? Necrotic Rituals from the Unholy Past. No, sorry, a compilation of early stuff. But I've got quite a few of their albums, like Demonolatria is brilliant. That's sort of like raw early Greek black metal. And then probably my favorite album, which got me into them through Hell's Headbangers, was, can't believe I forgot the name, Medieval Necromancy, brilliant. Check out the song Black Moon Sacrifice, it's awesome. And then also, you probably can't see this one very well, Arcadian Witchcraft and Black Coven. But yeah, just a brilliant black metal band from Greece. Check out Medieval Demon if you haven't. Okay, now one country left, and that is the UK. So I chose my favorite UK black metal band, which is Hecate Enthroned. Of course, most people have probably heard of them, but as I mentioned in a recent collection update, I just feel this band is, despite their brilliance and talent, they're a very underrated band. So if you like keyboard-drenched, symphonic, atmospheric black metal, definitely check them out. Hecate Enthroned from the UK. Okay, so they're my 6 countries: Norway, Sweden, Finland, US, Greece, and UK. Now we go to the second question, which is, share an album from either 1996 or 1999 you get down to. So for me, I chose the most striking, the most standout one. For me, that's Marduk with Heaven Shall Burn When We Are Gathered. This was the first Marduk album I ever heard back in the day. Like, at the time, I was already listening to bands like Immortal and Emperor. But then this Swedish band burst out of nowhere. Even though they had released earlier albums, this was the first one I heard after reading an article in Terrorizer magazine. But this was a groundbreaking album, like just incredibly brutal, fast, relentless, fierce, and evil sounding black metal. And that is a lot to do with not just the talent of the band, but the production, which was done by Peter Tegtren. He just made the drum sound on this album so absolutely thunderous and powerhouse. It's like a firestorm, like a punch in the face. Every song is just relentless with blast beats and those high-pitched screams and piercing melodies. It's absolutely fantastic. I just love, everyone knows that Marduk is my favorite band, so people are probably joking, we knew you had to show Marduk, but honestly, this was the standout release of 1996 for me. Not just for black metal, but in general. Yeah, so Marduk with Heaven Shall Burn. And on that note, we could also choose a 1999 album, so believe it or not, guess what that is? Also by Marduk, Panzer Division Marduk. So yeah, what a relentless firestorm of an album this is. It's like in the same vein as Heaven Shall Burn, but even more intense, just never letting up with the blast beats and shrieks and the thunderous drumming. It's fantastic. So yes, these are, not just for black metal, but my 2 favorite releases from 96 and 99, both Marduk ones. Check them out. If you haven't, I'm sure most of you know them though. All right, and now we're getting up to the third, shit, just dropped my CDs. All right, getting up to the third question then. Share a band's 6th release that you consider still kicks ass. So I could have chosen so many. Actually, with this one, I did choose it for Metal Mickey's 1, 2, 3 albums challenge, but I will mention it again because I think it's a substantial album. Dark Funeral with Where Shadows Forever Reign. Like, as I've mentioned before, Dark Funeral are one of my favorite bands. I know that Secrets of the Black Arts is probably the most classic album, and generally speaking, I like all of their albums, but I honestly think this one is the best for so many reasons. I think the songs are more memorable. They're more melodic, but not in a wimpy way, just catchier and more memorable. And they incorporate some clean guitars, and Hyun Dela, the new vocalist, I think he's the best vocalist that the band has ever had. Like, these songs, they really stand out apart from each other. Unlike, Secrets of the Black Arts, the songs, while they're very good, they're more samey. But like, so many good songs on this, like some of my favorites, Unchain My Soul, As I Ascend, The Eternal Eclipse is fantastic, just those melancholic riffs. To Carve Another Wound, brilliant. fantastic stuff. So yeah, it's their 6th album, and I know it's a controversial opinion, but this is my favorite by them. But because I already used that for another contest entry, I'll talk about another one. Also from 1996 and the band's 6th release. This is Dark Throne with Total Death. I mentioned this in the mini ranking discographies, but I think this is a highly underrated album by Dark Throne. It does, the only thing that it suffers from is the production. Like, the production is clear, it's not raw and terrible, but it sounds a bit sort of flat and languid and pedestrian. Like, I think if it was just a bit frosty or had more bite, this album would have even more impact. But yeah, such a great album, and it was sort of like in the mid-90s when I was still in high school, discovering all of this black metal. This was an album which I listened to most days on the last year of high school, so it helped me get through that. Yeah, great songs on this, like Earth's Last Picture, Black Wind. Oh, I could just read them all. Majestic Desolate Eye is another one. Blasphemer. Yeah, the whole album, fantastic. So, an unsung hero and an underrated album by Dark Throne, Total Death, their 6th album, I believe. Yeah. So Soulside Journey was the first. I think it's their 6th. All right, guys. So I've been going on long enough, probably longer than most other people have done 10-minute videos. So I'll shut the fuck up pretty quickly. So all I'm going to say is, once again, congratulations, Matt, on the rapid growth of your channel, already up to 666. It's very well deserved, and I think in no time you'll be up to 1,000 subscribers. So as I've said, I'm not just saying this as a token gesture, but seriously, if you haven't watched Matt's channel, go and do so, because it's hilarious, it's entertaining. Like, whenever I put one of his videos on, I think I'm really going to enjoy the next 15 or 20 minutes, and I do, and laugh my ass off. So yeah, definitely check him out. So yeah, I'll leave a link to his channel in the description, and Matt and everyone else, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you continue to watch my videos. I'll be back again soon with a collection update. So in the meantime, take care, and I'll see you later. Cheers.